This is the consistent pursuit of your human potential. I just don't got it today. What do you do when your motivation runs dry? Motivation, when it comes, it burns bright, but then it fizzles out. How are you going to keep going? When you open the fridge and the idea of making a healthy lunch is just not appetizing? When you had a long day and you'd rather be anywhere else but the gym? When the idea of sitting back on the couch with that bag of chips is so easy, no one's even looking. No one will ever know. How do you keep yourself on the right path, chasing the person you know you want to be? Hi, my name is Justin Kenning. I spent my entire young life as overweight and obese, and I know this all too well. I spent the last 15 years trying to become the next best version of myself, helping other people do so as well. And today I'm going to share a few tips with you on how to keep going when motivation runs dry. Number one is create habits. Habits are the reason we do everything. So if you want to align yourself on a life that's going to become the best version of yourself, you're going to have to create these healthy habits to make sure that the hard choice is easier. Creating habits that make you do the right things are so important. These are things like meal preps, or doing your workout first thing in the morning to get it done. Eating the frog, as they say. The road to becoming the person you want to be is a really long one. So having the right habits are ways to make the right choice an easy one. A great addition to habits is the activity of habit stacking. The idea here is when you do activity A, you follow that by activity B, the good habit. So say it's first thing in the morning and you're pouring your first cup of coffee. You pour that cup of coffee and then you go into activity B. You say one thing you want to achieve that day. Or when you get home from work or school, getting home from work or school is activity A, change into your workout clothing, activity B. This makes you much more likely to do physical activity than it would be if you got right into your lounge clothing. As well as when you finish dinner and you automatically track the calories you ate that day in your macro tracking app. It's a real effective way to introduce new positive habits in your life. Number two, burnout. Avoid it or embrace it. Every endurance athlete out there knows what it means like to hit the wall. When all the energy in your muscles is completely depleted and your body is screaming at you to stop. See, the motivation to do the right things is hard enough. When your biology is telling you to stop, that's really able to stomp your motivation right into the ground. So when you get into these paths where your body is completely broken down from exercising too much, or you feel totally depleted from the strict diet you're on, you need to go ahead and have a refeed day, or a cheat meal, or take a few days off the gym to get your body back to where it needs to be to continue on. 3. Repetition versus perfectionism. We all think we need to be perfect. Seeing everything online, you see the highlights of everyone else's life. Every time you do something wrong, you beat yourself up for it. My workout sucked. I ate way too much last night. I caved when I got home and ransacked the cupboards. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's repetition. This long road we're on is going to get us to where we need to go. We all think we need to be perfect, but guess what? We aren't. Some days we all feel super comfortable in our skin. Some days we hate how we feel. Just remember, this is not unique to you. You know, there's a study done about this pottery class where the teacher broke them up into two groups. Or was it a photography class? No, pottery class. I can't remember. Every time I research it, it's a different class. But in this photography/pottery class, the teacher broke them up into two groups. He looked at one group and said, you are going to make a pot every single day for the next 30 days. And to group two, he said, you have 30 days to make the best pot you've ever made. And at the end of the 30 days, the results were in. And time again that this study's been done, it shows that the repetition group ends up with the best final product. The people who were able to make it over and over again and learn the imperfections, learn the process, perfect it and hone their skills, at the end of the 30 days, they were better. They had the better pot/photo, or photo/pot. These studies are really important to show us that if you're hoping to get perfect the very first time, it's not gonna happen. And you can spend the next 30 days trying to get the perfect workout or the perfect meal plan, or beating yourself up because you failed today. Well, guess what? Get back on that horse tomorrow, because we're making the next one tomorrow. And the more we do this, the better we're gonna get, until it becomes autopilot. Just keep going, don't beat yourself up. Repetition over perfectionism. Number 4, motivation when things are going great. You're killing it. Your clothes have never fit so well. You're walking taller, people are giving you props on how good you look, and you think, hey, I'm gonna treat myself. And you end up having that glass of wine or that piece of cake. Good, it's part of the process. But then that's a slippery slope, and then you start having a couple glasses of wine every night, or you put your feet up and have a bowl of chips. A lot of times with our body, everything is a lagging indicator. You might have that glass of wine and wake up and feel leaner and more dehydrated and look great in the mirror and say, hey, I did it. Or you might have that big bag of chips You might be able to eat that bag of chips and your muscles feel full. You look in the mirror and you feel great because it's a lagging indicator. But I guarantee you it's going to catch up with you. And if you let these bad habits slide back in because you got too comfortable and too confident to where you got, keep remembering, we're all human. We got to where we were because of bad habits. Don't let them slide back in. Because one day turns into 2 weeks, and soon enough you'll be crying in the mirror because those extra pounds snuck back on. That's not you. What we're looking for is a healthy balance that we can sustain and stick to. You need to build habits and rigor in your life to make sure that you're doing the right things, like on autopilot. And one day, you're gonna look back and be like, wow, look how far I've come. You're not making hard decisions anymore because this is who you are. If you got anything from this video, give it a like. It helps get it out there to other people. We'll see you on the next one. You got this.